I'm a sweet little 8-month-old baby girl. 8 months old today. Can't believe it. Wow. Almost a year now. And you're probably babbling, crawling. Just don't get near the staircase. But it's been a pretty good week. Things are going good. I hope you're good. I know Mommy was telling me she doesn't feel too good right now, so hopefully she gets to feeling better. Well, you might not know this, I'm Daddy, but my name is George as well. And when I was a little boy, I used to read this book. It's called Curious George, and there's a bunch of them. And I went today and I got you this because I'm feeling a little nostalgic. It reminded me of when I was little. And that's Genesis and Zeb wrestling in the background. But it's pretty late, so you probably won't see this today. But let's go ahead and read it. It's really interesting. I just read it, and I hope you like it. And I hope everything's good. And that's all, baby girl. I love you, and I'll see you at the end of the book. Curious George says thank you. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. Today, George received a surprise in the mail. It looks like you got a card, George, said the man with the yellow hat. It was a thank you card from George's neighbor, Betsy. It said, "Dear George, thank you so much for the birthday present. I'm putting the stickers you gave me on everything, even this card. Sincerely, Betsy." The card made George think. It also made him curious. Who could he give a thank you card to? George thought and thought.
It's better.
It's probably as good as it's going to get. All right. He could send one to the Science Museum director, Dr. Lee, who has shown George her favorite collection of dinosaur fossils. Of course, there is also the librarian, who helped him pick out books. The store clerk at the market always saved the best bananas for him. And his friend Bill, who looks a lot like Waldo. Let George fly his kite in the park. Where's Waldo? There he is.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Next page, Genesis. George had so many people to thank. He had to get started right away. First, he gathered paper, envelopes, crayons, and stickers. Then he got to work. The man with the yellow hat walked in to find George covered from head to toe. Uh-oh, George, what are you doing? George held up Betsy's card and pointed to the papers scattered around him. "Oh, I see, George," said his friend. "You're making your own thank you cards. What a nice idea. Would you like some help?" The man wrote while George decorated. George was having so much fun that they even made a stack of extra cards. "We can hand deliver these tomorrow. Everyone will be happy to see you, George." Their first stop was the Science Museum. "George, it's so good to see you," said Dr. Lee. "What a lovely card. I'm going to hang it in my office right now." Next, they stopped at the library. "What a great card! the librarian said. I'm going to set it here on my desk where everyone can see it. George, we have some new books in the children's section that you might like, if you have time. George looked at his friend. All right, said the man. The man said, I will go get a book for myself. So the man in the yellow hat thought it'd be a good idea to leave a monkey by himself. George noticed the mail carrier leaving the library. She was the one who had brought George his thank you card in the first place. He wanted to give her one of his cards too. George hurried out the door. Could he catch her in time? George jumped up and down on the steps, waving a card, but a group of children was just getting off a bus. They were coming to the library for story hour. George couldn't see which way the mail carrier had gone. But oh, there was a street light nearby. George was curious. Maybe if he climbed it, he could see where the mail carrier was going. You see the mail carrier? The other side of the bus? George started to climb the street light as fast as only a monkey can. When he was halfway up the pole, his bag slipped off. In an instant, all of George's thank you cards went whirling through the air. Oh no! How would George deliver his cards now? George slid down the pole and grabbed at the cards swirling around him. A boy looked up. Hey, it's snowing mail. The little girl said, Don't worry, little monkey. We'll help you pick up your cards.
The girl who said it.
The children gathered up the cards. George was very grateful for their help. He was also grateful that he had brought extra cards. He decided to give them to all of the children. These cards are so nice, said the teacher. He looks like my middle school band teacher, Mr. Matthews. And there's Dennis the Menace.
What?
And there, the blonde, or Adam.
You know Eden doesn't know who either of those people are, George.
I explained that Mr. Matthews was my music teacher, and Adam is the little boy who lives next door.
Okay, but who's...
Ashley knows who Adam is, though.
Yes,
Ashley knows Adam.
but who's Denim the whatever?
Mr. Matthews?
No, Denim the Venom.
Dennis the Menace?
Yes.
You don't know who Dennis the Menace
No.
is? He's, Wait,
What
let me
is
keep
he?
going with a straight face. He's a comic.
It's a comic.
He's a comic character.
Really?
He's a menace. He's a little blonde boy. I condition my hair every day.
Oh my god, keep going.
Okay, let's continue. Sorry, baby girl. We're just being silly. The man with the yellow hat came hurrying down the steps. George! I didn't see you leave. It looks like you had quite an adventure out here. The man thanked the teacher and his students for helping George. Look how George has his hands behind his back like, I didn't do nothing. This camera needs to be clean.
Yes, it does.
Alright, let's finish delivering those thank you cards, said the man. George and his friends stopped by the market and the park and then headed home.
What do you think his friend's name is?
The man in the yellow hat?
That's his name.
That's the only thing he's ever referred to as.
Okay.
George felt a little sad that he hadn't caught up to the mail carrier. But wait, who was that at George's house? George, and who do you think that is? Right there. Who's that, Eden? Oh, wrong one. It's the mail carrier putting the mail in the house. So let's see what happened. George proudly gave her a thank you card. Wow, George, said the mail carrier. I'm usually the one delivering these cards. This sure is a treat. George waved goodbye, and he and the man went into their house. But George had one more very special thank you card to deliver. He had saved the best for last. And look, he put stickers on the man's hat. Go back here. He's giving it to them. These are thank you cards. And you can take them out, write a thank you note, and mail them. That's the end. Oh, what's interesting about this is on the back. On the back, it's got many different ways to say thank you in different languages. So, who wants to say one? Way to say, we say thank you in English. Well, what do we say in Spanish?
Gracias.
Gracias. And then French? Can anyone tell me?
Merci. Merci.
What about Swedish?
Tack.
Talk.
Talk. Talk. Talk.
In German, they say danke. Say thank you very much is danke schön. Arabic, shukran. Russian, sparsibo. Hebrew, toda. Caitlin, I know you know this one. Japanese,
Arigato.
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 Don't know. Italian, they say grazie. And Swahili, they say
Asante.
asante. Anyway, I'll be sending you this. And Curious George, there's so many of these books, and it was something I grew up with, and that's something I want to pass on to you, but I got you your own Curious George, and if you notice, I'll let him sit on my shoulder.
Turn your head a little bit like that way.
Mm-mm.
They have the same haircut.
Genesis thinks we have the same haircut.
You do.
I don't think monkeys cut their hair.
Well, it doesn't matter. You got the same haircut.
No,
Deal with it.
So, this is George. This is George. George. Dada. Monkey. But we have the same haircuts. Say bye, George.
You gotta
Everyone
say
say-
bye too.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Bye.